Welcome back to my channel, Simplified English 101. If you are new to my channel, please remember to like my video, share, make a comment, and don't forget to subscribe so you can be notified when there is a new posting. Today's video, however, will discuss the characters in the short story, Mom Luby and the Social Worker, written by Kristen. Let's begin. Before we dig into the characters, it's important to understand the title. Now, the title of this particular story, it highlights a major conflict that is presented or will be presented in the story and the characters that are involved. Of course, Mom Luby and the social worker. When we think about a social worker, we automatically think about their job. They are advocates for children in need and families. With that being said, we know, therefore, that there will be children within this particular story. The title also highlights the welfare system that exists in society. Now, we know that social workers are government employees, and it forces us to now think or ask the questions. What could the social worker possibly want with Mom Luby? Does Mom Luby have kids? Are these kids her relative? Will the social worker do her job effectively? And we know what her job should be. Or will she represent the bureaucracy that exists in government organizations like this? And whose job rather is to protect and to be advocates for children who are needy? Or will it be hard for them to do so because of the red tapes that exist? Now that we've done that, let's jump into another aspect of this lesson. The setting. One might wonder, why do I need to look at the setting when I'm looking at the characters? Well, let me tell you. The setting of a story is crucial because the character is intertwined with the setting. Right. Now, a character can change. A character can develop based on the setting that they're in or the settings that they come in contact with. With that being said, we need to understand the setting that exists in the story. How is it that the characters change based on their setting? How is it that the characters develop based on their setting? What motivates the characters? And if the setting at any at all impacts the characters to change, to become better, or to become worse? For this particular story, the setting of the story, of course, is in a city in the United States of America, and it took place between the years 1920 and 1933. If you don't know, then this particular year was called the Roaring Twenties. This was a period in America when social, political, and even technological changes existed. Now, this Roaring Twenties, it saw inventions in cars, movies, televisions, toasters, among other things, as well as the Harlem Renaissance. Right away, one would assume, or one will assume, that life for minority people would not be the easiest. This time also saw many Americans living in the cities and moving away from their farms, which created a rapid demand in consumer goods. One of such goods was alcoholic beverages. The notion that existed was that this liquor, as we call it in the Caribbean, it was damaging the American society and family. And as such, there was a law that was created to make it illegal. This was called the Prohibition of the 1920s. Now remember that certain goods and services, rather, are already also. The events took place for this particular story on a street called Division Street. Some persons believe that Division Street, of course, was in Chicago. Well, the story did not say that, but it did mention Division Street, which is where the characters lived. Now, on Division Street, Mom Luby, she lived in this house with a speakeasy at the back. She had a little restaurant where she served food to her customers, and she also served illegal corn liquor to these regular customers. In high demand. This forced people to find new ways to manufacture, and of course to sell liquor, the illegal liquor. Thus, the creation of places called speakeasy. Now, we know that the story took place in this particular setting because in the story, Mom Luby conducted her business in a speakeasy. Now, you need to ask yourself, what is a speakeasy? The name itself suggests what it is. Of course, the word speakeasy suggests a kind of quiet, secretive location. Of course, yeah, because it's illegal. Now, based on the fact that liquor was illegal, and that the characters lived and conducted their business in this setting, it makes us, a little bit more apprehensive about the title of the story and the social worker and her role in the story. It also lends to the image of the children being exposed to a world of adult and, how this might impact them, as well as how they will try to make sense of the world that they are exposed to. Those of us within the Caribbean would understand Mom Luby's role within the community. She's like the mother to. So the characters in the story are presented in front of you. They are Mom Luby, Elijah, Pudding, also called, or rather, her correct name is Arletia, and Miss Rushmore. All the other characters are minor characters who are also regular customers of Mom Luby. Let us now look at the major character, the first major character, Mom Luby. She is a mother to the two children, and she has been doing so for the past 3 years since their mother died. Now, what I want you to do, students, is to follow along with me as I give you detailed information about Mom Luby. I've already made the information easy for you by giving it to you in point forms, but I will go through by discussing, in detail, who she really is. So, Mom Luby, when we meet her first, she is introduced to us as the foster mother to the two children, and she has been doing so, as I pointed out, for the past 3 years, since, of course, their mother died. She is not their mom, by blood, but she does play the role of a mother figure to them. She is very old, as described by the narrator. He says that she has white hair and false teeth. He also says that she is very strong and extremely proud. So he gives us a lot of information about her right from the bat. This knowledge of her being too proud can make us assume that her going to the social worker or to the welfare office to beg or to ask for state help for the children shows that she clearly loves them. We know this because someone who is considered as proud necessarily will not be seeking help or assistance, from anyone. So we know that she loves them. Now, loves them enough, of course, to put her pride to the side to ensure that she do whatever it is that she has to do to take care of them. She is also a businesswoman. She runs a speakeasy and she appears to be loved by her customers. We can tell because she went to the welfare office in the morning, she returned, and her customers were waiting for her very early in the morning, to get their food and, of course, their corn liquor. Her customers also seem not only to respect her, but the relationship is extended to the children. We see them playing with Pudding, lifting her up, which is the narrator's sister. We see them sending also the narrator, Elijah, on errands. Now, as I said before, this relationship that she has with her customers seems to be extended to the children. The love and kindness that they show to her, shown to the children. Now, she has other business relationships, of course. This is with the police. And we can tell that this is a sort of business relationship because she tells the narrator, tell them if it's the police, I'll see them on Saturday. This relationship appears to be a bribe. You don't have to call it a bribe. But in Jamaican context, when you pay a police money to, do something that is basically illegal, it is a bribe. So she has that relationship with them where she pays them to prevent them from closing or raiding her business. Again, this shows the sort of businesswoman that she is. Clearly, she's a go-getter. She's willing to take the risk of one, owning a speakeasy, knowing it's illegal, and 2, bribing the police, also knowing that's illegal. This clearly adds to her character as a mother figure for the children, in the sense that she is willing to do what it takes to care for herself and the kids that is in her care. She is also a very, very welcoming and considerate woman. When she first meets Miss Rushmore, she invites her in and she offers her a seat and food. No, despite the way that Miss Rushmore responds and, the sarcastic tone that she responds in, Mom Luby is calm and she even appears jovial. She owns the building that she lives in. And this again tells us that she is not as penniless as we might believe. She would, however, be able to take care of the kids if they actually paid her for the jobs that she did. Now, in her exchange with Miss Rushmore, we can tell that Mom Luby is no pushover. She's no weakling. And we see that although she knows that she needs the assistance from the welfare office, and Ms. Rushmore is the one who can help her to get this, she is not afraid to enter into a heated debate with her. So we can say that she needs the help, but she is not entirely desperate. So again, she's still obviously proud. Now, what else we need to know about her? We can call her a woman of all trade. We call a man jack of all trade. Let's call her a woman of all trade. Why? She not only runs a speakeasy and is a foster mother to 2 kids, but she is also a midwife, a herbal doctor, an ordained minister of the gospel, and she offers legal advice and services to people in the community. We can also say that she could be like a community helper, or a community figurehead. That's the role that we would want to give to her based on the description given. In other words, let's call her a true hustler. It is ironic, though, that though she has so many jobs, she is still unable to take care of the children and must seek aid from welfare. As a proud woman, I pointed out already that there are some things that we do not do or would not do. We wouldn't consider ourselves putting ourselves in a position to, have to step down. The fact is, though, that for her to beg, rather, to ask the state for assistance shows that she understands her role as a mother figure and the responsibility of being a mother. Now, notice it did not tell us that she have kids of her own. So the fact that as an older woman, very old according to the narrator, who can step up to play the role of a mother, there are questions that are lingering that the author is probably wanting us to focus on. Now, this speaks a lot to her character, and it shows that she is a good person at heart. Now, we look at her and we would want to say that of all the roles that she plays within the story, she clearly is a woman who takes her responsibility serious, and she is not afraid to do what she has to do to take care of those that she loves. Now, Mom Luby remains around character. She is around character. She remains around character. And she is also the protagonist of the story because she does not, one, display any form of drastic change throughout the story. However, she is a well-developed character. As such, we get to see some aspects of her background, whether these are true or not. We get to see her full personality, and this is seen in her interaction with her customers, with the children that she is taking care of, and of course, the social worker, Miss Rushmore. We get to see that she is relatable and authentic. We see this in that she knows what is expected of her as a caregiver, and she ensures that the children understand and that they know her reasons for doing what she does. And it shows her as being authentic. Any mother figure would do what they have to do to protect for their children. And this says a lot about her. She's also memorable. She is also memorable in the sense that, we see her being sassy, we see her being candid, we see her candid enough, and we see that she have a little bit of spunk and quickness as an older woman. She's also realistic and, of course, has a little bit of complexity to her. She's important in the story because she shows the flaws of the government system and the difficulties that exist to get aid. Though she highlights the way in which people try to cheat the system, she does so in order to protect herself and her own. Additionally, we can reason that Hunter is possibly trying to show the depths a woman or a maternal figure will go to cater for those she loves, despite what is in her way. Mom Luby is aware that the environment that the children are in, it is not the best, and she understands that she needs to do what she must to help them. Let us look at other characters. Elijah. Now, as I said before, you can follow along on the pointers I gave to you. I will just give you some more detailed information about the characters that can be used to help you to prepare for your exam. Now, Elijah, he is a 13-year-old boy. He is the narrator of the story. He is also a rounded character, and Hunter did a good job in developing him. Though he is not the protagonist, we see that he is like any other typical 13-year-old boy, and he appears to be smart for his age, and it can be seen in his language. He uses a lot of similes and metaphors to create visual imagery and a description, of the setting and the characters, etc. We can also say that he's smart in his interaction between the men when he asks them to remain quiet because he realized the importance of the social worker's visit. He is aware of Mom Lumbe's legal activities and he assists her when necessary. He collects the checks, he checks money when she's busy, and he also runs errands for some of her customers. Like any other round character, we have enough information about him. Like any other 13-year-old boy, Elijah is smart. He is able to adapt to his surroundings, and he is able to make the best of it. Now, he's important to the story because he is, of course, the narrative voice, though he is not the protagonist. And without him, we would not be privy to the events from start to finish. So that's one. Two, through his voice, we are able to get the necessary background information behind, of course, their lives, their relationships with or relationship with Mom Luby, an insight into their living condition and their financial situation, their need for welfare, and the lies that must be told to acquire it, the difficulties in getting help because of the red tape that exists, as well as the interaction between Mom Luby and Miss Rushmore. That, of course, the narrator finds quite amusing. We also get to see, who the characters are, how they interact, the conflict that exists, and the unfiltered truth about the ironic situation that he is actually living in. Now, Elijah, of course, is well developed and he is a relatable character, like any other 13-year-old boy who understands the situation that they are in and know what must be done or the sacrifices that must be made to get the best out of life. Let's move on to Pudding. Her real name is Arlethea, and we see that she is a static character. If you look at my images, see that that image there represents Pudding, quite plump. We see that she appears one-dimensional in the sense that we only know a few things about her. Now, like most static character, her personality is so appealing that she does not have to change to be like. We read about her, and although we do not know a lot, we like her. She seems like those little chubby children, 5-year-old, who are so smart in a sense, a busybody, and wants to be in everybody's business. That is Pudding. Now, she remains the same from the start of the story to the very end. We get to meet her, and when we do, of course, she is extremely fat. a fat little girl. She is the narrator's sister. We know that she is fat because Boo Boo lifts her up and he hollers about her weight and he immediately puts her down. We also know that she's fat and loves food because her brother says, especially when adults are eating, she likes to hang around them. So obviously, in Jamaican term, we call them licky licky. But please do not call pudding that. Pudding is just a foodie. Her name is fitting. Why? As Caribbean people, we know what a pudding is. We normally describe it as something which is thick, right? And when we look at pudding and we read about what kind of person pudding is, we think about, yes, she is a chubby little one. She's fascinated with the adult world, of course, and she likes to hang around grown-ups, pointed out before. She's also very inquisitive, like most 5-year-olds are. They want to be in everything and want to know everything. And this can be seen when she peeks through the curtain to look at Miss Rushmore, even when Mom Luby uses the broom to try to show her away. Now let us move on to our final major character, Miss Rushmore. Again, I want you to follow along on the points and listen to the detailed explanation. Now, we know that she works at the Department of Child Welfare Bureau of Family Assistance, and I already explained to you, what that social worker is like. But I'll just give you some more information into that. Now, as a social worker, she is expected to improve people's lives by helping with their financial, social, or any other needed resources, especially where children are concerned. She should lobby for, assist, try to secure help for families who need it. She should also do her research because a social worker cannot help unless they do thorough research. This could include asking family members, asking community members, whatever it takes to get the necessary truthful information to best assist the family. Now, in the story, we see that she asked questions. Now, though she asked questions, we see that her investigation was not thorough enough in the sense that she clearly did not know a lot of things about Mom Luby. She does not know that she owns the building she lives in. She does not know that the children does not belong to her, even though she probably has an inkling or a thought. She does not know about Mom Luby's husband. She does not know many, many, many other things. And as such, it will make her job difficult to assist the children. She also is, unlike Mom Luby, she's qualified to be a social worker, which shows us that she is educated. And, this could be the reason why she reacts the way she does to Mom Luby because of the world that they live in. We can describe her, though she's educated, we can describe her as inept, when compared to Mom Luby, who is able to get so many things done in 2 hours. And she claims it would have taken her 2 years. Now, as an educated woman, clearly she lives a different life than Mom Luby, and she seems to have no thought or idea of how the poorer class, people like Mom Luby, the persons who she is charged to look about her to assist, she does not know how they live. She does not know what they have to do to survive and what it takes to cater for the needs of your family. This is seen when she requests a budget and the way she reacts to them eating salt pork and beans. And it's also seen through a conversation that she had with Mom Luby. She is a round character. And I'm describing her as a round character and also as the antagonist because though she is not evil, though she's not a villain, she is the driving force behind the plot as she works to combat the goals of Mom Luby. Her conflict with Mom is indirect, and it is her that basically motivates Mom Luby to accept that, you know what, I don't really need their help. I will continue to do what I have to do to provide for you. By offering a glimpse into her educational background, the narrator was able to have us, see when she followed Mom Luby to complete her daily task, we were able to see how she feels and thinks about Mom Luby, and the fact that Mom was able to complete these tasks that she, Miss Rushmore, believes should be reserved for educated people. Now she's a good antagonist because she is not a weakling. She cannot or does not allow herself to easily be overpowered by Mom Luby, especially in a conversation. And as such, we can say that she is a good antagonist for the story. She's important because she symbolizes the system that is put in place to assist the needy, but makes it so difficult for those who need help to actually get help. It's a kind of way to frustrate them, to make them want the help, but not get up to get it because of the red tapes that exist. She also represents the system that ensures that the poor in society remains poor and the needy by implementing a rigorous system filled with paperwork, various offices, and impossible expectations. And it is these expectations and paperwork and rigorous up and down why Mom Luby did not even bother to go, because where would she find time to complete all of her daily tasks, to get the money that she needs to feed the children, and then go to so many offices just for a few pairs of shoes and clothes to get an education? Now, her lack of knowledge about their lives and their expectation shows that the government which she represents, they are clueless about the poor we live. Rather, they might have a knowledge, but they do not care. It is ironic, that Miss Rushmore is qualified, and she claims it would take forever to complete these simple tasks that Mom Luby, without a qualification, is able to do. And that's the reason why we consider her as the jack of all trades. This brings to the fore the question of, the traditional roles versus modern roles, and the notion of what it really means to be qualified. Is it having a piece of paper, or is it being able to complete a job or a task that you are assigned to do? Now, Ms. Rushmore is an interesting character because through her, we can get to see Mom Luby as, this really good character. We get to see that it is Miss Rushmore who really is the one that is in Mom Lumby's way. As a social worker, again, I did point out what their job is. And as a social worker, Miss Rushmore should have had the thought, the sensitivity to say, okay, this old woman is doing so many tasks to keep food on the table for these kids. The least I can do is whatever to make the paperwork go through to ensure that they get it to get an education. She's not asking for money. She's not asking for food. She's only asking for uniform and or clothes and shoes so the children can go to school. Now, clearly, we get to see Miss Rushmore as a kind of rigid woman in the sense that she's one of those persons in these government organizations who see what is happening but turn a blind eye. They are not willing to break the rules to accommodate people. They are not willing to break the rules to help people, and this is why she is, of course, the perfect antagonist. Now, there are other characters that I mentioned earlier in the story, and these are the minor characters. Now, while I will not discuss them at length, these other characters, the minor characters, Mom Luby's customer, they do play an important role in the story, in the sense that they aid in the development of the setting and they help to highlight the environment in which the children live and what these children are exposed to. Now, this is the end of my video for today. I am going to ask that you join me for my next video when I will speak about the narrative techniques and thematic concerns presented in the story. Until then, bye.